Greetings once again. An important question, a worthwhile question. Do you spend your time and your life judging people or blessing them? There's a very high cost if you're here to judge people, if you think that that's how you should spend your time. The high cost of judging people is separateness. You're separate from the ones you judge, and you'll find yourself separate from your own soul. The ego loves to do a life of judging others, considering their wealth, their value, looking into their purposes and looking into their problems. Well, it's an exciting life. You get all kinds of material to judge, but you make yourself separate from these people you're judging, and you have an attitude that puts you in a viewpoint, locks you into a viewpoint of my job here, my inclination, rather than live, rather than be happy. I'm going to spend my time judging others and figuring out, or explaining why I'm not happy, because they are such problem people that I can't be happy, or whatever excuses we have. Judges very often very poor judges of themselves. And of course, we're going to get into judging and discrimination, and we are trying to explain things which are hard to. For example, it's good to be a judge. It's good to see clearly and to evaluate. That's good. But to spend your life just on judging is to waste your whole life and to neglect to be the person you could have been. So why don't I just lay the case out and you decide? You want to be a judger or a blesser? You decide. You say, well, I want to be both. Okay, fine. But it's important to distinguish in your mind and heart the momentum and the motive that you're living with. You can't bless others as long as you're in a judging attitude or mood. Nor are you open to the blessings from God that can come into your own life. Judging others is an ego state which blocks a person from higher consciousness, harmony, love, compassion, and spiritual consciousness. Like Jesus said so well, why are you so preoccupied by the speck in your neighbor's eye while you have a log in your own eye? You cut yourself off when you're busy judging, a self-appointed judger. But perhaps you stop judging to live in a sense of oneness, harmony, and love. Say, well, I'm trying. You trust everybody. You don't judge. But some people cheat you or betray you or hurt you or abandon you. And in your tears you may say, I wasn't supposed to judge. Look what happened to me. The old arguments. I was vulnerable and I was deceived so easily. We're saying, avoid the ego state of judging. Live your life instead of judge. We're talking about don't spend your life as a critic, focused on flaws, faults, shortcomings. Focus on something else. What would that be? Let's look at the word judge. From the dictionary, to hear and decide, to determine the winner, to form an idea, opinion, or estimate about any matter, to criticize or censure. A lot of us think we have this right to criticize and censure. And some do have that right. Some we appoint because we think they're going to be fair and have good moral character as they pass out their judgments. To discriminate is to constitute or recognize the difference between. To recognize the difference between. To differentiate. To see the difference, to distinguish, to be discerning. And third definition, to show partiality in favor of or in prejudice against. That's where that word discriminate comes in. And it can be a crusher. It's a matter of what we mean when we use the words judge and discriminate, what we normally mean. When Christ says, judge not lest you be judged, that it's not your job to judge. The preachers of my youth meant it is not our duty or right or purpose to live as fault finders, critics, as judges. In our country, the United States, the word discriminate is often used to mean a racist who favors whites and limits people of other skin colors. So it's a matter of what we mean and understand when we try to communicate, judge not. A yogi practices discrimination to advance spiritually. And we try to look at other people, and we try first to appreciate them, not judge them, to appreciate them. Judging, as I'm using the term here, is working with ego and separateness. Discrimination is working with spirit and oneness. So it's by definition. But it's an important area for examination. If you're living as a fault finder, you're forfeiting your life. We could use these words interchangeably, judge and discriminate, but we make these special distinctions in order to communicate important concepts that help us live better lives. So Jesus, Christ, and Sharada Devi, from different times, the 1800s and the beginning of our 2 centuries, way back when, or 2 millennia ago, there we go. They both said something like this: if you want peace and happiness, don't spend your life as a fault finder judging others. And Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says that one of the most valuable practices you can do is learn how to discriminate. As yoga devotees, we're encouraged to discriminate in many ways. Vidya and avidya, leading Godward or away. Is this going to lead us toward God or away from God? Is this going to give us eternal life or ephemeral life, just short, changing life? Is it going to be permanent or fleeting? Is this real or unreal? Is this a recognition? Can we discern the gunas? Inertness, activity, mindless activity, and reflecting spirit. Those are the 3 forces of nature that help us go Godward or elsewhere. We determine through discrimination, is there empathy? Through looking at somebody well and understanding them, we can have empathy with them. We develop the buddhi, this clear witness consciousness that watches the mind and the emotions and the world. This clear witness consciousness is perfect for discriminating. being able to make conclusions that are beneficial. As a result of discrimination, we can sense our oneness with other people, the great soul where we're sharing life as a vast family of nearly 8 billion people. Oprah used to say, I watched her quite often for years, way back when, Oprah said, if people are telling you and showing you who they are, believe them. Just don't say, oh no, I'm not going to be open and aware. I'm going to block what you're saying and how you're appearing. I'm going to believe something else. Let's see. So she says, if people are signaling to you or saying things to you or behaving in a certain way and they have a certain personality, take that into your account as you understand. You can even get so good at this, you can discern others' dharma, the way their soul is and what their soul would like to express. And you can help them give soul expression. You can look at their character and spiritual traits and help them grow in the way that they naturally would like to grow. The point is, instead of being somebody's critic, let's look at the people in our lives and appreciate them and discern, just sense the soul in them and how the soul would like to express. So let's try these 3 stages. Let's judge people critically. Just get used to that mode of being a critical judge, fault finder. Everybody's got faults, they're easy to find. So we're going to practice fault finding and judging. Then we're going to practice appreciating, because there are so many things in people to appreciate, usually, almost always. And then we're going to discriminate. We're going to strive to sense the soul in them and how their soul would like to express. When we appreciate people, we can often sense their soul. So I'd like you to just get used to each of these levels. Judge, appreciate, and discriminate. All right? We're going to take a few minutes here. In fact, this is a good place to just have a break. We're going to just allow you to practice judging, appreciation, and discrimination at your own time, and join us shortly for part 2. Jai Ma.